Greetings, everyone. This is Julius Buyengo, representing RCMRD, RCOE. I'm a GIS and remote sensing expert, supporting capacity building activities at the Regional Center for Mapping of Resources for Development and at the RCOE project. Our apologies, yesterday we couldn't finish our session because of a technical problem. My machine just hanged, but today I think we should be able to smoothly go through the session. Today we'll be handling a practical session, and remember we are looking at module 3, session 3, where we are trying to understand environmental crime. And when you talk about environmental crime, we're talking about issues related to wildlife poaching and illegal logging. So for today, we are going to look at a component on poaching, elephant poaching. And what we are going to do is we want to call these data sets within the ArcGIS Pro, try to understand the data sets, review the data sets to understand what the data contains. Then after that, we are going to develop a quick map just to map elephant mortality data. But of interest to us will be poaching incidences within the KAZA. KAZA is the Kavango, Zambezi Transfrontier Conservation Area. And it is shared by 5 countries, that is Angola, Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The data that we'll be using is for purposes of demonstration purposes. So basically, we, as RCMRD, we don't have authority on that, but basically it's a data set that we have sourced for purposes of doing the demo. So quickly, I hope you already installed your ArcGIS Pro and it's up and running. So what I'll do, I'll quickly start my ArcGIS Pro. Of course, we'll pull some data sets from RCMRD GeoPortal. Then the other data sets on elephant mortality, I'm going to call it from ArcGIS Online. So I'll quickly start off by downloading my data set on key biodiversity or protected areas within Zimbabwe, because our demo is on a section of the KAZA TFCA, and there's just a portion of it just to understand the dynamics related to elephants within the ecosystem. So I want us to download a data set on protected areas in Zimbabwe. So quickly, the link is we'll log into open your browser, look for rcoe-geoportal.rcmrd.org. I will get in. As my GeoPortal opens, this is how the page looks like. At the top, we have a menu. We have home, about, new insights, news and insights. We have data sets, profiles, and trainings. So on the data sets tab, click on biodiversity. So this is where we are hosting biodiversity data sets for the Eastern and Southern Africa region. I will scroll down and click on view biodiversity data sets. This is how the interface looks like. Various data sets are shown to the right, including some snapshots. I will search for Zimbabwe. Search for Zimbabwe. And the moment I type in Zimbabwe, you should see 3 products. There's Zimbabwe biodiversity data, and there's Zimbabwe biodiversity point data, and there's Zimbabwe forest point data. For now, we're interested in the biodiversity data, so I'll download this. So as it downloads, I will go back to and start my ArcGIS Pro. Start my ArcGIS Pro. Okay, yeah. So this page comes, and a snapshot of Zimbabwe. It's going to plot the protected areas they are in. So I'll hit the download button. There are a number of options for data download. We have CSV, we have shapefile, GeoJSON, and KML. For now, because we want to do a mapping exercise, I'll download the shapefile, hit on download. So my dataset is downloaded. It will be in the downloads folder. I can quickly extract it, right-click it, and extract the dataset. So we are just unzipping the zipped folder so that we can access the datasets, and this is how it comes out. It comprises of 6 files. 6 files. I will go back to and start my ArcGIS Pro. So while my Pro is opening, I'll go back to my datasets just to try to make you understand the different file formats. Of course, there's a .prj file. A .prj file. This one stores the projection information. There is a .dbf file. This is the database behind the shapes or the polygons that you are seeing. Then there is a .shp file. The .shp file stores the shapes, the CPGs, the SHX, and these other files. These are support files that are supporting the shape file that we want to visualize within Pro. So my Pro is already open. This is the start page. We had talked about the interface, 3 tabs to the left. We have home, learning resources, and settings. You can open this. If you have done previous projects before, you should be able to see down here under recent projects. To the right, you should see the learning resources where you can easily get quick help. All right, I'm being told to restart Pro from the download. All right, so I'll start over. I'll go back. So we are pulling this data from the RCA GeoPortal. So what you need to do, I'll start my browser. For me, I normally use Firefox. So I'll launch my browser. At the top here, I look for RCOE GeoPortal, RCOE-geoportal.rcmrd.org/. Hit it. It will open for me the RCOE GeoPortal. This is how the GeoPortal looks like. And of course, we are conserving nature and empowering communities through the generation of insights from data. At the top, we have a menu. We have home, about, news and insights, datasets, profiles, trainings. Put my cursor on datasets. There'll be a drop down where you're seeing biodiversity, forests, and seascapes. We are interested in biodiversity data for Zimbabwe. We're interested in biodiversity data for Zimbabwe, basically just the protected areas within Zimbabwe. And we say that this data set was drawn from the World Database of Protected Areas as published by UNEP WCMC. So I'll click on biodiversity. I want to access biodiversity datasets. Once the page opens, I'll scroll down. There is a tab on View Biodiversity Datasets. I'll click on View Biodiversity Datasets. As the page opens, all biodiversity datasets that are within our GeoPortal are listed here. We don't want to go one by one. My interest is in Zimbabwe, so I'll search for Zimbabwe up here. When I search, type in Zimbabwe, 3 datasets come up. There is a biodiversity data, there is point data, and there is forest data. I'm interested in the biodiversity data. I'll hit it, click on it. It takes some time. So while okay, here it comes. Zimbabwe biodiversity data. We'll have a preview of the data set to the right, and to the left, we have a description of the data set, a summary description of the data sets. Please feel free to read it from your end. For me, I want to download these polygons. You can see them displayed in blue. I'll hit the download tab. Once I hit the download tab, I'll be given 4 different versions of this data set. And because we want to do a demo on mapping, I will download the shapefile because we want to use this within within ArcGIS Pro. So I'll click on download shapefile. So once my shapefile downloads, it will go to my downloads. So from downloads, I said, let us navigate to downloads, right click, and extract your data, extract all. When you extract all, the file will be open, you double click it, you can visualize the different files, support files for these Zimbabwe biodiversity data. I've said there is a .dbf file, which is a database file. It stores all information related to the shape, and the shape is the .shp. Then there is a .prj, which stores projection related information. Then we have CPG, SHX, plus 1 other file. So this is how the datasets comes in 5 different components. That is the shape file, the projection file, a database file, plus 2-3 other support files. So once I've downloaded my datasets, I know it's on downloads, it's under downloads. You can move it to a folder of your choice. You can move it to a folder of your choice. For me, I'll let it remain there. I'll call it from there. So I now open my ArcGIS Pro from the start button. I can search for ArcGIS. When I type in ArcGIS Pro comes up here. I'll hit it. It will take a few seconds to open. So as I said earlier, we are pulling one dataset from ArcGIS Online and one dataset from the RCOE GeoPortal. The dataset that will be calling from ArcGIS Online is a dataset on it's a dataset on elephant mortality on a section of protected areas in Zimbabwe. So my ArcGIS Pro has opened. This is the initial page when the software opens. Make sure at the top it shows that you have already logged in. You should be able to see your name, RCMRD training. Then to the left, there are 3 tabs. There is home, there is learning resources, and there is settings. Feel free to interact with this. There is a manual that was provided to you under ArcGIS resources on the ArcGIS on the online learning platform. There is a manual on download, installation, and getting started with ArcGIS Pro. All these components, home, learning resources, settings have been discussed. So on the home tab, I should be able to select map. Of course, this interface has also been discussed on the startup manual. Feel free to interact with it. So for me, because I want to visualize the data sets, I'll click on map. Click on map. Now, before a new map interface is opened for me, the software asks me to name the project. So when we are working in ArcGIS Pro, any instance you open, the software understands it as a project. So I'll give my project a name, elephant mortality mapping. Elephant mortality. That is the name of my project, elephant mortality mapping. I will use the default location. When you install ArcGIS Pro, it creates these files on drive C of your computer. The file projects is within ArcGIS and documents. So different machines, different setups. As you install your ArcGIS Pro, you can choose where you want your files to, or where the install directory to be, or where your files should be. So by default, it will always take any work you do into the default files, projects, or default geodatabases. So for this project, you can decide to take it to a different location on your machine, or let it go to the default projects file. So for me, I'll let it go to the default projects file. Then I click OK. So it will create a project. It will open a project environment, and basically this is just a map. And on this map, you'll see there is a base map of the world, which is just trying to set the pace for us by providing background information in terms of location of the different continents and any features they're in. So this base map, you can easily zoom in, zoom out if you have your mouse and it has a wheel. You push it to the front, it zooms in. You pull it back, the mouse wheel, it zooms out. You push it to the front, it zooms in. Push it to the back, it zooms out. So there's a base map and there's a hillshade. These ones are loaded by default. So what Pro does, it gives you a background on which you can start off your mapping activities. Now to the top, we call it a ribbon, where you are seeing project, map, insert, analysis, plus the tools down here. We call it a ribbon. Where you are seeing contents, these ones that are moving, we call it a pen. To the right, there is also another pen on chart properties. Previously, I was doing a small chart somewhere. So I opened this chart properties pen. Then this is the map view, or the main view. Where you can see the map is the main view. So I want us to bring in our first data set of Zimbabwe protected areas. So under map, on the map, on the ribbon, look for a menu called map. Look for a menu called map. You can click on it. Click on map. Then under layer, you move to the right. There's a sub-menu called layer. There's the add button here, which says add data. There's a plus sign here, plus a drop down on it. It says it is used for purposes of adding data. The one at the top is for changing the base map. If you don't like this base map, you can choose a different base map based on your preferences. There are different base maps that you can select based on your preferences. For now, I'll use the default one that Pro loaded when I first opened it. Now I'm going to add the data for the Zimbabwe protected areas. So on the add data button, I'll click the drop down arrow, then click on browse. Click on browse. Your datasets, depending on where you saved them, you should be able to access. Mine was previously I'd copied on a file called training, but let me use the one that is on the downloads. So I'll click on my PC, expand this. Sorry, I'll use folders. No. It's under downloads. Let me see if I can get it from here. Let's see. So make sure you know where you saved your data. Okay, this one, because I had already saved it in a different, I saved it, I downloaded it, went to downloads, then I moved it to another file. So let me just call it from the file that I had already pushed it in so that we save time. So I'll add data, go to my computer, it's this PC, I had put it on drive D. There's a training file. Of course, there are a number of files here. We're interested in Zimbabwe biodiversity data. Then I click on the Zimbabwe biodiversity data.shp. Then I click add. So when I click add, the polygons are added onto the map interface. You can see they are just polygons. They are just boxes. So to understand the details they are in, you can right click the Zimbabwe biodiversity data on the contents pane. Then you say open attribute table, or right click, then you select attribute table. It will open for you a table behind those shapes. And this table stores information related to different components based on what the data originator wanted to have as part of the data behind that. So we have the object ID. This one is normally assigned automatically by ArcGIS Pro when you're creating the shapefile from scratch. There's a WDPA ID. These ones are assigned by UNEP WCMC. We have names, original names. So feel free to interact with the attribute table behind these shapes so that you understand the data sets or the information behind those shapes. I'll quickly call in the next data set. Of course, you can see our shapes have been mapped to Zimbabwe. Our shapes have been mapped to Zimbabwe. Now I'll call in the other data sets from ArcGIS Online. So same procedure, go to make sure your map menu is selected. Then under add data, click the drop down, click on browse. You can add data from all these sources, from a path, points from a table, from different sources. But for now, I want us to browse. So once your browse window opens, look for ArcGIS Online on the left. ArcGIS Online on the left, click on it. So these are datasets that have been pre-processed and stored on a cloud by Esri for purposes of ease of access by different users. So under search, I will look for, I'll type in elephant mortality. So on the search, on the add data window to the right, I said on the add data window, we are selecting ArcGIS Online to the left. Click on ArcGIS Online. Then to the far right, you search for elephant mortality. elephant mortality, press enter. So 3 datasets are available. There's Zimpax elephant mortality, wave feature layer 1. There's deep sea habitats, pine beds. Then there's seal sites HB. So we are interested in the Zimpax elephant mortality. Click on it, then select OK. So remember, we are calling 2 datasets, one from the RCOE GeoPortal and one from ArcGIS Online. The one that we are calling from RCOE GeoPortal is the protected areas within Zimbabwe. The one that we are calling from ArcGIS Online are elephant mortality instances within a selected area in Zimbabwe. So when these datasets are loaded, you can see that the elephant mortality dataset is in point form, and the protected areas are polygons. So within GIS, we said that we have a number of data models. Of course, we have a vector data model and a raster data model. So these are vector datasets. That's why you can see we have points and we have polygons. For now, we want to work with lines. Now, when the elephant mortality dataset is loaded, there is some kind of a breakdown. I hope from my end, this is just the cause. From the data collectors, Zimpax, they mapped areas where elephants died, including the sources, the causes. So to understand the data in detail, I can right-click it and open the attribute table, select attribute table. When I select the attribute table, this is how it looks like. I can move this pen to somewhere else. So these pens can be able to, you can dock them anywhere. So because I want to visualize this data, let me put it down here. There is the field ID, then there's a mortality. So this is on mortality, they are just recording the instances. Mortality number 1, mortality number 2, mortality number 3. Then there's quantity, how many elephants were identified dead on the ground. There is a sex. What was the sex of the elephant that died? What was the age, established age? Was it an adult? Was it a juvenile? Was it, okay, there's adult, sub-adult, juvenile, among others. What was the body condition? On what area was it? What was the land use within that area? There's communal, there's Victoria Falls. So feel free to interact with the data. Then it gets us the location, the point XY, and the UTM zone. There is a cause. There is a cause. They try to establish what caused the death of this elephant. Was it euthanized? Was it poached? Was the death natural? Was it a problematic elephant that needed to be controlled? PAC, problematic animal control, among others. So different causes, we look at it, and they have tried to break it down, cause of death, mortality. Was it shot? Was it poisoned? Is it unknown? Among other components. Feel free to interact with the data. There is also other information, like this one is saying shot by HRDC, shot by Emmanuel, case with ZRB minerals. Which year was it? What period was it? Is during COVID, or we'll try to understand these data sets. So that's how we try to interact with the data sets, with the attribute tables, which are they store information related to the shapes. So from this interface, you can see them as points, but you click on any of them, there should be a pop-up. Of course, it's selecting both layers, the points and the lines. So like the one I clicked on, it was mortality number 39. And These are the details related to it. The cause was natural. These are the coordinates. The year was 2018 when it died, and the period was pre-COVID. So feel free to interact with the data. The land use within the area within which it died, they are saying Matetsi Ese, I don't know what that means, but the area is called Katombora. The body condition was old, and it was an adult. It was a female. So each of these points represents a death of an elephant by different causes. So what we are going to do now that we have tried to look at the attribute table, defining each and every point, as we can see, to select any records. Okay, when you open the attribute table, you'll find that it comprises of columns and rows. So the columns, we normally call them the fields. We call them the fields. You can click on any at the top to select it. Now, on the individual rows, we normally call them records within a GIS environment. Record number 1, record number 2, record number 3, all the way. So a quick question, how many elephants are reported to have died based on this data set? How would someone quickly identify or know the number of elephants that were reported as death? So if you quickly look at the attribute table down here, it is saying that I've selected 1 out of 187. So this data set is presenting 187 cases of deaths of elephants within this area. I can quickly name I'll close the attribute table. I want to label the polygon so that we understand which area is this, or what are the specific, are they protected areas, are they community areas, or what are they? So I can scroll down to Zimbabwe biodiversity data, right click, Zimbabwe, make sure it is active. Of course, make sure you understand what is within the attribute table. Make sure you understand what is within the attribute table. I can open it for purposes of our understanding. Of course, the field ID, shape, a number of fields. But for me, I want to know their names. I want to know the names of these polygons. There's a field called name, and there's another field called original name. So let us label it. I can label it using the name. So to label the different polygons representing protected areas within Zimbabwe, I will simply make sure that the layer is active. I click on the layer here. Then at the top on the ribbon, there is a menu called labeling. Click on it. Click on labeling. It opens the label parameters that I can use for labeling. So I want to use the name. So under field, leave class as it is. Field, let us select name. You select the name. I want to label the polygons based on name. Then to the left, there is an icon and a label and a tick. I click on that. It will label them using the names. So you can see this is Matetsi, there is Kazumapan. Of course, there is Zambezi here, there is Victoria Falls. Yeah, this is Zambezi National Park. This is Matetsi. There's Chidole. All these are wildlife areas within Zimbabwe. And we want to understand the causes of deaths within these western, I can call it the western region, the western tip of Zimbabwe, where there is Zambezi National Park, plus other conservancies within the area. So that's how we quickly label. I want us now to do some styling. Styling is just trying to play around with the symbols of the different layers that we are displaying. So for the biodiversity data or for the protected areas, I checked the attribute table and I saw there was some classification in terms of designation. There's botanical gardens, there's conservancy, there's national park. I can quickly symbolize this data set based on designation. So I'll right click. Let me close the attribute table. Dock my contents pane there. Then quickly right click Zimbabwe biodiversity data. Select Symbology. Select Symbology. As at now, the data set is being displayed using a single symbol. I want us to symbolize it using different symbols based on the designation. So I'll select on the symbol selector, just to the right of the single symbol, I'll click the drop down and select unique values. Select unique values. And the field that I'm going to use to symbolize this data is designation. Desig, select it. I want to change the color ramp. Of course, you can play around with the color ramp to select how the different subcomponents of the designation will be displayed. So under designation, we have botanical gardens, botanical reserves, we have conservancies, we have national parks, Ramsar sites, recreation parks. All these have been symbolized using different colors based on the color scheme. You can change it here. So that is how we do symbology based on attributes. I can close this. So we are symbolizing the protected areas within Zimbabwe based on their designation. And we have found that based on the attribute table, the designations are different, starting from botanical reserve, conservancy, sanctuary, wilderness area, wildlife management area, among others. So I can close this, and this is how they look. Seems botanical gardens. Okay, let me try to, I can also change the symbol from here just by double clicking it and to maybe try to make it a little different. The individual symbols for botanical gardens. It is also clashing with national parks. I can double click the symbol here and give it a different color. So in this area where wildlife or where elephants died, you'll find that it's mostly a safari area. Of course, there's a national park there, the Zambezi National Park. Zambezi National Park. Then we have, let me try to change the colors, or I just select a different color scheme. Right click, select symbology, pick a different color scheme, maybe this one. Yeah, this one. So you can see there is a national park, Zambezi and the Kazuma Pan. Then to the right, we have a Ramsar site here. It is called Victoria Falls National Park, the one in blue. Then to the right, these polygons, Chitode, Kachetedi, Nemananga, Zambezi, these are wildlife management areas. So you can see these elephants, some of them were killed within the protected areas, within the national park. There are some that were killed the safari area. And there are some that went outside these protected areas, they were killed outside there. So, or they died outside there. So based on this, we are saying that some of the elephants were killed outside the protected areas, and you want to understand why. Maybe they went into people's farms, or they wandered away, or maybe this is a migration corridor. If we have somebody from Zimbabwe, will help us understand this. So I'm being told to revisit, there is a request for me to revisit the symbology. There's a request to revisit symbology. I will start, let me return the Zimbabwe biodiversity or protected areas to a single symbol. So simply right click, select symbology, I want to display it using a single symbol. So on the symbology window, under primary symbology, I'll select single symbol. Click on the drop down under primary symbology to the right, click on it, select single symbol. Based on that, when I click single symbol, the data is presented on using a single symbol. It's bluish, you can see, but I can change it to a color of my choice. I can change it to a color of my choice. I double click symbol. There is a box to the right next to symbol. I can double click it and select a color of my choice. Maybe let me pick this. I can pick this yellow. Click yellow. Then I can close this. So all my protected areas within Zimbabwe are being displayed using a single symbol. Now I want to display them based on their designations or classifications, based on how Zimpax decided to classify them. So I'll right click Zimbabwe biodiversity data, select symbology. On the symbology window, under primary symbology, of course, you can see we are now using the single symbol. I want us to use unique values or different symbols. To use different symbols based on different categories, we are going to use unique values. So click on unique values. Of course, you can use graduated color if you are graduated color, bivariate, unique colors. It depends on the data type that you are presenting. So for now, I want us to use unique colors. Click on unique values. Click on unique values, select unique values. And for you to display this data using unique values, you need to have a specific field that contains the different classifications. And we have said this field, based on our check on the attribute table, the field is called designation. Designation. When I hit designation, you can see there's a default color ramp that is applied to different classifications of protected areas within Zimbabwe. And we have said there are 11, I can't remove this, no other values. You can see the software tells us the 11 symbol classes. We have botanical gardens, we have botanical reserves, we have conservancies, we have national parks, Ramsar sites, recreation parks, sanctuaries, wildlife management areas, among others. So we are symbolizing this based on a field called designation, and we are using unique values. For each designation, each designation is going to be given a unique color. So I can change the color ramp, to one that can easily differentiate the different classifications. Let me select this one. It did change. Let me try a different one. So there are color ramps, different color ramps that you can deploy in classifying your data. Doesn't seem to change. Not changing. Let me try again. Click on symbology. Let me use, we're using designation, a color ramp. Yeah, this is now changing. I'll pick the one that is going to display different classifications. I can pick that one. Then once I've picked that one, I close my symbology window. This is how it looks like. And if you look on the contents pane, each classification of a protected, or the different classes of protected areas have been given different colors. If you don't like the colors, for example, for the botanical garden, I can double click this symbol to the left. I double click it, and the symbology selector will come, or the symbology window will come. I can give it a different color, maybe yellow. Close it. Botanical reserve, there is a safari area, there is a national parks. Maybe you don't like that color, you double click it. You pick a color of your choice and give it yellow. I already have. Let me give it this blue, maybe. Then I can close that. So that's how we symbolize polygons based on a field, based on different fields. So you can see most of these to the left. Most of them are okay. It's not really. I can decide to give them unique colors, because the color ramp doesn't really differentiate them. For example, wilderness areas, and pick that one. Wildlife management areas. Yeah, these are wildlife management areas. Then there is a national park here. Yeah, it's called Chizarira. I can also get it on the base map. So just trying to check that the data set that I have is complying with what is on the base map. So these are some of the protected areas within on the base map, but they are not as detailed as what we are getting on the WDPA. So that's how we symbolize polygons. I want us now to go and symbolize the elephant mortality data based on the cause of death. When we looked at the attribute table for elephant mortality, we discovered that there is a field called cause of death. Cause of death, it is here to the right, this one. And from this cause of death, that's where we want to understand how many cases were courtesy of poaching. Cause of death, that is the field we are going to use. Of course, I can easily get that. If I want to know how many elephants died courtesy of poaching, I can easily do a quick query. On the attribute table, I can there is a select by attributes. Select by attributes tab up there. Click on it. There will be a window that will open. So I want to select. I want to know the number of elephants that died courtesy of poaching. So we are selecting from elephant mortality, and we are doing a new selection. And this is where we specify the query. We are doing a new selection where the cause of death, you select, you click on the drop down here, you are selecting a field based on what is on the attribute table. So we are saying the cause of from here where cause is equal to cause, the cause of death. There's some feedback. The cause of death is equal to, select is equal to poached. Select poached. So the query is, somebody who has not unmuted. So we're saying that we are selecting from elephant mortality data where the cause of death is poaching. So we are doing a query based on select by attributes. The data that we are selecting from is elephant mortality. We are creating a new selection. Of course, there are a number of options. We are creating a new selection. And we are doing a query. The expression is where the cause of death is equal to poached, or is Yeah, is equal to, we want to know the elephants that were died courtesy of poaching. So the query, we are saying that where cause is equal to poached. From this drop down, you'll get different causes of death, but for now we want poached. Once you do that, you hit OK. The software will select for you the causes, the instances where elephants were poached. So how many are they? How many are they? If you look down here at the attribute table, on the attribute table, it is saying 19 of 187 selected. So there were 19 cases that were reported as deaths caused by poaching. 19 cases were reported as being as a result of poaching. Let me switch off I'll switch off the protected area so that we see. And you see the ones that have been selected in blue are the ones that are reported as poaching. The ones selected in blue are the ones that are reported to have been caused by poaching. If we want now to reverse this equation, or we want to reverse the query. For example, now I want to select all other elephants that died of other causes other than poaching. So what query am I going to put here? So we are saying that we have already selected elephants that died courtesy of poaching. We have found there are 19 out of 187. You can quickly switch this selection. To switch this selection means that you are now unselecting those ones that died of courtesy of poaching and selecting the rest that died courtesy of other causes. So on the attribute table, next to select by attributes, there is zoom to, then there is switch. You click on switch, it will select for you the other elephants that died out of other causes. How many are they? You check down here, there are 168 out of 187. 168 out of 187 died courtesy as a result of other incidences other than poaching. I can clear this selection. I can clear the selection. I want to deselect everything. So on the attribute table, next to switch, there is clear. You hit it, everything is unselected. Everything is unselected. Of course, I had selected this field, but for the records, none is selected. Now, let us select, we want to know the number of elephants that died out of natural causes. Out of the 187, how many died out of natural causes? I'll go to my attribute table. There is select by attributes. Select by attributes, click on it. We are selecting the input rows is the input data set. We are selecting from elephant mortality. We are creating a new selection. And the query is, we are selecting elephants that died courtesy of natural causes. So the cause here is equal to select natural. Cause is equal to natural. Then I say okay. So how many elephants died out of or as a result of natural causes? We are finding that 73 out of 73, based on what is being displayed on below the attribute table, 73 out of 187 died out of natural causes. So these are some of the questions that will come in the quiz. These are some of the questions that will come in the quiz after you undertake this practical. So let us be keen. Now, I can clear this selection. Now, a question comes in and we want to understand how many elephants got out of control and they died out of problematic animal control, PAC. they had to be killed because they become a problem. How many? I'll go back to my select by attributes. Select by attributes. The input data set is elephant mortality. We are creating a new selection, but now the cause of death here is PSC, problematic animal control. Once I select problematic animal control, I can hit OK. We are getting that 45 of them died out of as a result of control measures because they become a problem within the conservancies or within the protected area, or alternatively, they had wandered, gotten it onto people's fields, crop fields, among others. So you can see all of them are selected here. There are 45 of them based on the attribute table. And on the table, on the display, the dots are selected in blue. So I'll clear the selection. Let me clear the selection. And now I want us to proceed with the symbology. So I want us to symbolize these dates based on the causes. I'll close this attribute table, bring back my contents pane to the left. I want us to symbolize the causes of elephant deaths based on, okay, the deaths of the elephants based on the causes. Based on the causes. And of importance for this exercise, Aki, we want to know how many were poached. So I can start with the ones that were poached. So on the attribute table, on the contents pane, under elephants, you scroll down, those ones that were poached. You click on the dot to the left of poached. I'll double click that. Double click the symbol to the left of poached. Double click. The symbol selector will open. Symbol selector will open. I want to choose a symbol to represent the elephants that were poached. I will scroll down on the symbol selector. Scroll down on the symbol selector. There is a symbol that represents a zoo. It's in form of an elephant, this one. I'll pick that symbol, pick the symbol, and then I can go to its properties here on the Symbology tab. Next to Gallery, click on Properties. I can change its color to red. Change its color to red to show elephants that were poached. I can play around with its size, the size of the symbol. I can make it size 11. Once I'm done, I click on Apply. Then I can close the Symbology window. So you can see from the display, all elephants that were poached are being represented by the zoo symbol, but it has an elephant in it, but the elephant is in red. The color is red. The color is red. So let us symbolize those ones that were problematic and they had to be controlled. I'll come to PAC. PAC on the elephant mortality layer. Get to PAC. Double click the symbol. Double click the symbol. On the Symbology window, I'll click on Gallery. Click on Gallery. Scroll down, look for the zoo symbol. Look for the zoo symbol. Where is it? Look for the zoo symbol. It has disappeared. Scroll down, look for the zoo symbol. Let me do it slowly. I get it here. This is the zoo. It is selected. I'll go to its properties. Go to properties. Pick a different color. For example, I can, I don't know if this one is pink or it's called a mist. amethyst. Click on that, change the symbol size to size 11 as the previous one. I say apply. Then I can close this. So those are the elephants that were problematic and they had to be controlled. I can bring in my protected areas, just try to understand the dynamics. You'll find that some were, of course, there are some that are within the protected areas and protected and conservation areas, but there are some that had wandered. They have gone out. These ones are out. So why had they to be controlled? Maybe one of the participants from Zimpax or from Zimbabwe will tell us why they had to be controlled. But you can clearly see that they're outside the protected areas and they were problematic. Now, let's symbolize those ones that died of natural causes. Same procedure, go to natural, double-click the symbol next to natural, go to gallery on the Symbology window, scroll down, select the zoo. I've decided to symbolize these elephants using the zoo symbol. So all of them will have this zoo symbol, but different colors. Zoo symbol, different colors. Change the property, go to properties, select the two properties. I can maintain this one. Just change the size to 11. Then I click on apply. I close that. So these ones now died out of natural causes. Representing them in brown. And of course, there are those that died within the protected areas. There's a number that had they died outside. They went outside the protected area, and maybe they, due to some situation, they died there. Do the same for those ones that died courtesy of road accidents. Double-click that symbol. Under gallery, select zoo. Once I've selected zoo, I click on properties. Then I'll change the color. Maybe to this one. I can make it, let me make it, I can make it blue, dark blue. Change the size to 11. Apply. I can close this. So those ones that died from accidents, represented in blue. I want to check if there are any roads. I can switch off this. From the base map, do we have any roads here? Yeah, there is a road here. Maybe this one was knocked down. There's an A8 road here. As we go to Victoria Falls, I can scroll down and see if there's any other one. Yes, there's this one. It also died courtesy of an accident. Yeah, as you get to Victoria Falls, along this corner, 2 died. We're being told courtesy of accidents, road accident. Could be a road or a train. No, yeah, there's a train. There's a railway line that cuts here. There's a railway line, so probably they were knocked down by the train. These two. Then this, the one down here was knocked down by a car, probably because this is a road. There's a major road here and there's a minor one, could have been knocked down. Now, self-defense, same procedure. Double-click the symbol to the left, go to gallery, select zoo. Select zoo. Where is zoo? Zoo, you have disappeared. My zoo symbol has decided to go for lunch. but I will get it. It's here. Select zoo. Click on properties. Change its color. Which color can we use? Let me use this. I can use self-defense. Let me use dark green. I can use dark green. Change the size to 11. Apply. Close this. Let's see, where are they? Self-defense. Self-defense, do you have any? None. Let me check it quickly. I'll open the attribute table. Select by attributes. The cause of death is, we have said self-defense. Okay. None. Oh, one. There's one. There's one that was defending itself, but in the course of defending itself, it lost the battle. So let me see which is which one. Come here. And it was a female one. Yeah, it was a female one. It was reported as mortality number 79. It was a female one. It is an adult. And the area is called border pass. Yeah, of course, it's close to it's on the border. You can see here. It's on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe. This one. It died courtesy of self-defense. Of course, the ivory was recovered. And the period was during pre-COVID. I closed that, just trying to check if self-defense was well represented. Do the same for snared. Double click on the symbol, go to gallery, pick my zoo. Click on properties, change the color. This one I can give it which one? Snared. Snared I can give it black. Change the symbol to 11. Apply. So all the elephants that were snared, let me clear, I go to map, a clear selection. So all the elephants that were snared will be represented in black. I'm getting only one or two. There could be more. So they are here in black. Go to trophy hunt. Trophy hunt, same procedure. Double click the symbol to the left, symbol selector, or the symbology window opens. On the gallery, select zoom. I pick on zoom. Under properties, change the color. Which color can we use here? Maybe light green. Change the size to 11. Apply. Close that. So trophy hunt, do we have any greens? Yes, they are here. Trophy hunt, we have them here. Let's do the same for management quota. They died as a result of management quota. Same procedure, double click. Look for my zoo. Change its color, probably, which color can I use? Which color can I use? Orange. Let me try orange. I don't know if it's orange. This one is called electron gold. Electron gold. Change the size to 11. Apply. Of course, they are. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Are they visible? Management quota is almost the same as natural. I can change this color. Let me pick this. Apply. So if you find that your colors are clashing, you can easily change the color. Yeah, I got them. There's one here. There's one here that was killed at courtesy of management quota. Euthanized. How many were euthanized? Same procedure. Double click. Go to gallery. Select zoo. Select zoo. Sorry, I saw it here, disappeared. Zoo, 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 zoo. Click on zoo. Hit properties. Change the color. Which color can we give this one? Maybe you have a yellow. I can do a yellow. Change it to 11. Apply. So you do the same for all the symbols. We are remaining with the disease, stock wounds. Same procedure, hit gallery. Get on where's my zoo, click on zoo. You can use any other symbol, but me, I chose to use the zoo because it has an elephant in it. Properties, change the color, apply. Of course, reduce the size to 11. I'm putting all symbols at 11, size 11. Close this. Toxicity, same procedure, double click, go to gallery, select zoo. Select zoo, change the color to a desired color of your choice, but the colors should not clash. We have green. We have that. I can pick this shade of red, take it to 11, apply. Bacterial infection, same procedure. That's the last one. Zoo keeps on changing, but I get it. Click on zoo, go to properties, change the color. Which color can I give this one? Dark brown. Make it 11. So make sure your colors, the representations are not clashing. Eh? Maybe that shade of green. Close that. So we have symbolized our elephants based on the causes of death. And we have also identified that some of these elephants died outside the protected areas. Some of these elephants died out of the protected areas. And we have also found that some of the poached elephants were killed within the protected areas. Like this is Zambezi National Park. We have quite a number in red. So now that we have symbolized our data, I'll switch off. My interest is in displaying the dead or the elephants that died, but making sure that those ones in red were poached, representing the poached ones. So now, suppose I want to present this on a map. How do I proceed? How do I proceed? I want to create a map showing the different causes of elephant deaths around Zambezi National Park. So what I will do, make sure that all my data set is well symbolized. Then I'll now get into the map composition mode. Simply click on Insert, New Layout. Because now I'll be presenting quite a number of data sets. I'll select, let me pick A2, ISO landscape. Of course, you pick the page size based on how your data is being appears on the map. So once I've selected ISO A2 landscape, I'll come to map frame, click on map frame, then select the map that I've been working on. I won't take default or none. I hit map. Once I hit map, I draw a box on my layout page. When I draw the box, my map comes in. I've switched off the protected areas. Let me just use the base map. I can right click the elephant's mortality and say zoom to layer. So I zoom to it nicely. Make sure it is well represented on the page. Well represented on the page. To maneuver on the page, I can go back to layout, click on layout. Then on under navigate, click the center of navigate. My pointer changes into a hand. I can now move around the map. I can zoom in, zoom out using the KAZA. So this is how it looks. This is how the map looks like. If I want to see it on the full page, I'll click on zoom to 100% or 1:1. That's how the map will look like when printed, 1:1. You want to visualize it on full extent on the page, click on full extent. That's how it looks like. So that is my map. That is my map. It is on a large page. So at this scale, you might not see the detail, but when you zoom in or you visualize 1:1, you should be able to see the details. I can play around with the scale. Play around with the scale. Try to change it to, of course, it's 1 to, I can maintain that. 1 to 560,000. We always prefer that the scale is whole numbers. So that's how my map will look like. Now, if you look at this map, you'll not understand. Of course, you can understand which area we are representing based on the names that are appearing. But I want us to put there an inset map. An inset map is a map that will quickly help the users to understand the geographical coverage of the area. So to insert an inset map, I'll go back to, let me see. I can close the activation here. Okay. For you to play around with the map, you can see that the map is moving, but the page is not moving. There's something called activation. You activate the view for you to play around with it. You activate the view. It's under layout. Now it's active, but you can close the activation to fix it to where it is. But now I need to change the scale. It was 560,000. So for me to insert the view, I'll go to insert. I will insert a new map. Insert a new map. Let me remove it. Let me remove it. I wanted to do something. I wanted to rename this. This layout, I can rename it. Right click at the top, give it a name. Go to properties. On the general tab, I can call it layout 1. Okay. Then because I want to insert the overview map that will, okay, it has shifted 560,000. I want to insert the inset or the overview map. I'll go to new map, click on new map, select new map. The new map comes. I can rename it. On the contents, I can right click it, go to properties. Under general, I call it the inset. I can call it an inset or overview. Let me call it an inset. This is a map that will just give a quick geographical, give users a quick understanding of the geographical coverage of the area that we are representing. So I'll go back to layout 1. Of course, I've done the inset map, but I go back to layout 1. I want to bring it here. So to bring it here, to bring the inset map here, I'll click on map frame. Click on map frame, drop down. Then I select the inset. I can draw a box here to bring in the inset map. So under insert, when you're inserting the map frame, make sure you select the insert map because that's the one that is going to give an overview of where we are mapping. So once I've done that, on the map frames, under map frame where we inserted the new map frame, on to the right, we have 3 icons or 3 I can call them icons. Let's pick the extend indicator. Extend indicator is the second one from the top. Extend indicator, click on it and select map frame. The extend indicator, we are picking the extend from the map frame. Map frame, remember, it was the first map that we created. So you select map frame. Once you select map frame and you zoom into, I can activate this view. Right click on it, activate. Then I can zoom in to the extent. You can see it is zooming into the area that we are presenting on the map. And this is the area. That is the area. I can close the activation. I'll go to layout. Layout. Click on layout, close the activation. Now the extend map, the extend is being displayed as a black box. I can change it to red to catch attention. So on the contents pane, make sure you locate the extent of map frame, right click it, go to properties. I want to change it. I want to change the extent to red. So the extent indicator, the source is picking the extent from the map frame, and the symbol is black, as you can see. I want to change it to red. Change it to red. Increase the size of the outline with it to. Is it changing? Let me see. When I apply, yeah, it's changed to red. I will repeat that process. Right click the extent of map frame on the contents pane, right click, select properties. The properties box will open or window will open. On the select extent indicator here on the first tab, scroll down to extent indicator, double click the symbol here, select color red. You can change the outline with it to 3 points. That's how I did it. So my extent is now showing. I can activate it a little. Let me activate it so that I zoom in nicely. I zoom in nicely. So that is the extent indicator. I can close the activation, layout, close activation. What else can we add on this map? I want us to insert to add some statistics. I want us to add some statistics. Just representing maybe on the different courses and numbers, different courses and the numbers. Come to the layout, scroll down to elephant mortality. Make sure you can see the elephant mortality layer. Right click it. Go to create chart, select create chart. I can select, there are a number of options. I can create a bar chart. I can create a bar chart. There are a number of options. So under bar chart, what data set do we want to present based on the attribute table? I want us to represent cause of death, plus the count. We want to know, based on the different causes, how many elephants, just to present the statistics. Do I need to label the bars? Let me label. So when I close this, you can see, we can see our chart down here. You can see our chart down there, just trying to show the different causes of death. Bacterial were 25, toxicity were 2, disease or wounds were 3, the ones that were poached were 19. So to integrate this into the map, of course, we can create different types of charts. I can cancel this and maybe try a pie chart. Try a pie chart. Make sure I right-click elephant mortality. Go to create chart. Select pie chart, representing the same data. We want the causes. Then I pull it to the side. You can see the statistics have come. There's a pie chart showing the different causes and the percentages. For those ones that were poached, 10%, as you can see, 10%, and that is the pie chart. So depending on what you want to present, on your liking, you can integrate a chart of your choice. Let me go back to the, let me do the bar graph. Right click, create a chart, a bar chart, get a bar chart. Then when the chart properties come, the category that we are using, I'm using the cause. Of course, you can use other statistics or other fields. For example, the period when the elephant died. Period gives us only two options. Let's try to change on year. 2 different years, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 different years. So because of time, let's do cause of death. Do I need to put in the labels? Yeah, let me put in the labels so that the numbers are displayed at the top of the bar. And then there's the sorting here. I can decide to sort in ascending or descending manner. Your choice. I can maintain it as it is. Then I can close that. So that's how my chart looks like. I can export this chart. Click on export here. Or if I want to integrate it within the map, I can say capture to clipboard. So my capture to clipboard was captured. I can click on the map here and paste. Yeah, my graph comes here. I can close this. My graph showing the statistics on the causes of death comes here. You can anchor it somewhere. There are a number of things, quite a number of things that we can add to this map, but because of time, let me add the title. Of course, everything is on the insert. It's on the insert menu. Map surroundings. Let me go to graphics. I can pick text. Try it here. Then I can type in elephant mortality. Elephant mortality in Zimbabwe. behaving. Pull my map down so that I have this. I can right click that, go to properties. Right click the title, go to properties. No, this is the layout. I want this one. Right click, go to its properties. Elephant mortality in Zimbabwe. I can change the text. Background, show record label, general, scroll down. Text symbol. Yeah, click on text symbol. You can change whether you want it Arial or whatever. Let me leave it to Tahoma. I can increase the size, 36, maybe 40. Let me try that, apply. So that is the title. Close that and return my map. It can remain down or let me, okay. So you can play around with the map. So that is the title. I can insert the north arrow on the insert menu. On the insert menu, click insert. Sorry, make sure insert is selected. Map surroundings. Map surroundings. Something is selected here. Map surroundings. My machine is slowing down. We'll give it some time. So you can insert a number of map surroundings. You can insert the north arrow, insert this the scale bar. Go back, map surroundings. Give it some time. So just trying to insert the map elements. We have inserted a graph just to enhance the statistics. We can insert a table, but because of time, I want to go into that. Map surroundings. Why is it misbehaving? Layout. So we're still on the layout. We're inserting map surroundings. I want to insert the north arrow. So under insert, on the insert menu, navigate to map surroundings, click on the drop down, select north arrow, click on the drop down, select a north arrow of your choice, anchor it at a place of your choice within the map, north arrow. I can insert the scale bar, still under map surroundings, scale bar. Pick a scale bar of your choice. Pick a scale bar of your choice and pick the metric one. Scroll down. I can put it somewhere down here. I'll see how best to I can right click it, go to properties, maybe increase its size and the labels. I can make them maybe 18. See how it looks like. Apply. Yeah, that one looks better. You can do this representation either in miles or you can do it in kilometers based on your choice. Let it be here in the meantime. I'll arrange it later. What else can I add in? Can add in quite a number, can add in a table. If you want to add in a table, make sure you just select your layer. For example, relevant mortality. You right click it. No, make sure it is selected. Make sure insert is selected, map surroundings. You can click on a chart or a table. For example, you want to integrate a table. Then I draw the table. Of course, it will bring the attribute table. So based on that, I can be able to select the fields that I don't need. For example, I don't need the quantity, I don't need age, body condition, I don't need area, land use, UTM, XY. So you can make changes to the table based on what you want to present. For example, here I just wanted to present the cases, the mortality cases, the sex, mortality cases, and the sex of the elephants that died. So that's how you can integrate a table. What else can we integrate? Of course, there are grids. I click the main map. Click on the main map to activate it. Under map frames. Under map frames, below the extent indicator, there is a grid. You click the drop down. You select a graticule of your choice. I can pick this one so that my map has grids. Give it some time to come here. The grids are here. The grids are there. What else can we add? Of course, you can play around with these grids if you don't like the way they are looking, because they are now kind of obscuring or kind of presenting the data below from being seen. I can change its properties. Right click here, go to properties. Scroll down. Under the down here, interval, there are a number of components that you can change. Neatline, you can change this. I can make it a shade of gray and reduce the size to 0.1 or 0.2. I apply. Let's see how it looks like. Any changes? Also. I'll close this. No, that was the neatline. Neatline is normally at the edge. Right click, go to properties. Right click, go to properties. We are changing the grid lines. So on the drop down next to neatline, click on it. Select grid lines. Scroll down. The symbol, you can change this. Oh, this is a neatline. Sorry. We are talking of grids. The color of the grids, grid lines, we want them to be a shade of brown, black, gray. Make it 0.1. I apply. They change? Yeah, they change. So now I can say, do you want to apply it uncommitted symbol? Let's say yes. So my grids are now gray. They are grayed out, but on the sides, you can see they are well labeled. Those are grids. So suppose I'm happy with my map based on how it looks like. Because my table is too large, I just put it there for purposes of demonstrating that you can integrate different data sets within your layout. and integrate different data sets within your layout. I can go down here, make sure the graph looks nice, it's well placed. Bring in my scale bar down here. Bring in my scale bar down here, I can resize it. I like that. Of course, there is the credits. We are pulling data sets from different sources, S3, NASA, NGA, USGS, S3 TomTom, among others. You don't like the way it appears here, we can play around with it. I can go to map surroundings. Is it text or map surroundings? Map surroundings, additional. No, it's not here. Not there. There's a way you can play around with the map surroundings, frame, additional. Lost somehow, but there is a way you can play around with this so that you have control of how it is being displayed down here. So generally, this is how my maps looks like. My map looks like. Let me see. Go to layout. Fit it within the page. That's how it looks like. If you're happy with your map, you can share it with your boss or share it with your friends, or you can publish it. So to publish the map, let me rearrange this table there. Don't like where the north arrow is, I can bring it down and also change its size. And change its size. While you're doing this, make sure you have saved. We have not saved anything since the start. So I'll save my map. I save my project. Save my project. Once I'm happy with my map, I will export it. I'll click on share. Click on share. Then select export layout. There are a number of formats that you can export this map. You can export as a flattened PDF, a georeference PDF, a GeoTIFF file. If you want to include it within your reports as a JPEG. So for now, I want to export it as a flattened PDF. I want to export it as a PDF. You make sure you take control of where it is being saved to. I can change this. Okay, I'll let it go there. I'll let it go to elephant mortality layout 1 PDF. You can give it you can change the name here. You do just don't call it layout 1. I can call it elephant mortality. Sorry. Elephant mortality. Mortality.pdf. Scroll down, make sure you increase the DPI. We normally use a minimum of 300 DPI, but the more DPI, the higher the DPI number, the higher the resolution of your map and the heavier it will be. So a minimum, we normally use 300 DPI, dots per inch for resolution. Then I can, once I'm good with everything, compression is JPEG, can leave it as it is. I'm exporting it as a PDF, but the compression that I'm using is JPEG. Once I'm done with that, the DPI dots per inch that I'm using for purposes of resolution is minimum of 300. You can put in the number you prefer above that, but the higher the DPI, the heavier your map will be. So I export this. Let me export and see how my map will look like. So the export is in progress. In the meantime, let's prepare for questions. The main objective of this session was to take you through how we can call data sets from different sources, how we can symbolize the data sets, and how we can use that to compose a map and share with the colleagues, share with different stakeholders. So my export is completed. Let me view the exported file, or I can say show it in folder. Okay, this is how it looks like. Let's see how it looks like. This is how my quick map looks like. I'm expecting yours to be better than this when you'll be doing your assignment. Make sure your map is better than this one of mine. Counts by cause of death. You can change this within the software. Try to explore so that this one is deaths by cause, not counts. You can change within the software. I've input my mortality data. Elephant mortality death that was recorded as number 171 was a female. Number 86 was a female. We have males. Yeah, males are to the right. 159 was a male. So these are some of the statistics that we can integrate in your map. These are inserts showing the specific location that we are mapping within Zimbabwe. I can be able to see my elephants based on the different causes of death. But our main interest was on poaching, where 19 of them were poached. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could continue with this session so that I give you more insights on how to make better maps. But these are just the basics. These are the basics. Feel free to make yours better through exploring. I think I can now switch to questions. Any questions, please? You unmute. Let us unmute. Remember to save your map so that you can open it at a later stage or any other day apart from today. Questions, please unmute. Let's start with Edwin.
Good afternoon, Julius.
Good afternoon to you. How are you?
I'm good. So my first question is on the issue of ArcGIS Pro. I understand that we are using version 3.5, but some of us, we may have our machines that are not updated in terms of system, and it may run the previous version. So I'm asking if our exercise can be done in those versions and the same credential can be logged in with those versions. And the second question is about the modality elephant data. I am curious to know which tool were used to map, the data. Was it the handheld GPS or, the survey 123? They went there and to the location where the elephant died and picked the location, or those are some of my questions.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, you can do this exercise on any other version of ArcGIS Pro. The credentials should work. But you'll find that previous versions of ArcGIS Pro might not have some updates on quite a number of items. It will still work. It will work, but you might have limitations on some of the tools that have already been updated. But give it a shot and let's get feedback from you. Use the same credentials. Try it on version 3.0, 3.1, 3.4. Of course, it should be able to work. You just might have minor limitations on the improvements that have been done on the tools. Now, on elephant data collection, this one, from the way I'm looking at the attribute table, it was picked using a handheld GPS because it is giving me even the UTM zone. But you can deploy a number of mobile data capture tools, including Survey 123, Kobo, among others. For purposes of, there will be a session on data collection tools. We'll try to dive into some of the tools that you can use for purposes of data capture. But this one, I'm suspecting it was done using a GPS because there is a UTM zone within the attribute table. Thank you very much. Let's have the next one. Let's have Ibrahim.
Hello, good morning, Julius.
Yeah, it's getting to afternoon here. How are you?
Sorry, I'm working and also training. I'm on another laptop. So sorry, I'm also in Kenya. My name is Ibrahim Amale. So my question would be, why did you add also data from ArcGIS online? Does it mean that you cannot work exclusively using data on your laptop, or you're just showing us another way of adding data from other sources? Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. The reason why I called in datasets from ArcGIS Online is just trying to show you that we can call datasets from different sources, but for purposes of this practical, we got this dataset, and we thought it would be good for purposes of doing the demo on elephant mortality. So you can use even your personal datasets if you have some datasets from KWS where they have mapped elephant mortality. Feel free to use it. Of course, I would challenge everyone on the course to use their own datasets to create that map and share with us as part of the assignments from the practical. Please use your own dataset. Use your own dataset, but please, where you can, make sure you can call in, bring in datasets of protected areas from the RCMRD geoportal. Thank you very much. Betty. Betty, please unmute. Betty Linda.
Yes, thank you so much for the presentation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
So I just a few concerns. Why do we download ArcGIS Pro and install, but then when we're using it, we have to still sign in using our credentials, unlike just ArcMap where you don't sign in? So that's the first one. And then the second one is it possible to also help us to create the linkages between these different protected areas, showing how they are linked, maybe even showing the corridors, the resistance, something like that for us to understand? And then is it possible to, if I'm having different credentials and for this exercise, I'm using the credentials for this training, but then I would like to open this, whatever I have saved here in my own, like my own credentials, is it possible to transfer the files? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Betty. Why download ArcGIS Pro, sign in for you to use it, unlike the way we used to do with ArcGIS or ArcMap. So basically, you understand that Esri are now navigating or getting into ArcGIS Pro, and for purposes of easy management of the credits, they are requesting that we sign in. So the signing in basically is just to make sure that you are licensed. So they're trying to run away from the cracked versions. Make sure trying to take control of the cracked versions and making sure that everyone is a licensed user. So the reason why we are signing in is because we are licensed to use the software and we want to consume our credits going forward. For ArcMap, there used to be instances where people could crack the software, and you see now this is a loss to Esri. You're using their software and for free, and you don't want them to benefit. So it's just a way of trying to control and making sure that we are using the licensed versions, creating linkages between different datasets, different ecosystems. This is very workable, provided you have the datasets. For example, if we had the animal corridors for Zimbabwe, we would have integrated them in. so that we enhance the way the map is looking at wildlife. Of course, we have habitats. I didn't want to get into that. You can easily download the wildlife or elephant habitats or whichever species you are looking at. These data sets are available. You download the habitats, you download the corridors, you download transport, you download data on other ecosystems, then you integrate into your map just to enhance it. So this one, I didn't want to bring in a lot of data sets because we would still be going on with the session. Suppose I created my map on these regional training, RCMRD training, using RCMRD training credentials. Of course, you'll be able to open the map, provided you have saved the project within a file or within your local drive. You should be able to open it using different credentials, maybe for your organization or personal ones. I hope we are good, Betty. Let's have Edward. Edward, please unmute.
Okay, thank you, Julius, for the good presentation and hands-on. I wanted to know, apart from sharing the map via PDF and other options, is it possible to share via link also? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this map, you can share it in different formats. Of course, you can also share it as a link, but you need to export it to the required. Let me check. Let me just check quickly. Export YouTube web page. Yeah, you can do share. You can share default AIX, but we always prefer you export it maybe as a JPEG or as a PDF. Then maybe you can upload it somewhere online. Then you can share the links with the different users. I hope we are good.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, for ArcGIS Online, anything you develop on ArcGIS Online, you can share as a link. But for Pro, there are a number of options: PDF, JPEG, GeoTIFF, and of course you can save it somewhere. Then on an online resource, on a Google Drive, then you share the link with different users. Thanks. Let's have the next question from Andrew. Wanok Andrew. Please unmute.
Yes, thank you so much, Julius, for that informative presentation. Good afternoon from my side. One of my inquiry is if one would love to work in a specific area, for example, the data you've shared is for Zimbabwe. Now, if I would love to work in a specific game park or that protective area, is it possible? And if it is possible, what are how can I go about it? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Andrew. So the datasets that we are using were for demonstration purposes, but if you are interested to work with a certain game park or protected area, so you need to first of all get in touch with the authorities that are managing it and express your interest in working in that area, so that you get the approvals. Maybe you make a request, get the approvals. Of course, these data sets have already been done before. You can even request for the data sets themselves. Like, for example, you can get it from KWS. I can request for the data sets. If, for example, if you're interested in working in a protected area like Nairobi National Park, you just seek approvals and basically you'll be good to go. They should be supportive on your project. So key is just getting the approvals from the institutions that are managing the protected areas. I hope we are good. Michael Manja. Michael, please unmute.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Julius. I'm Michael Manja from Nigeria. I think this is quite interesting. This is one of the parts I've been waiting to learn so much about, and you've done great work there. So we use ArcGIS Pro. Can we be able to have the same quality when we're using ArcGIS online? Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. ArcGIS Online is good for developing applications or products that you are going to share over the cloud or over the internet. And for Pro, we are now integrating local data sets and generating local maps. So for Pro and ArcGIS Online, you should be able to develop more or less similar products, but in ArcGIS Online, you may not develop a map. You can develop dashboards, you can develop story maps. But for purposes of mapping, you need to work on Pro. And products that are generated using ArcGIS Online, ArcGIS Pro, they should be almost of the same clarity. Of course, clarity comes when you're talking about the resolutions of your final products. That's where the resolution of your final products is what determines the clarity of your products. But generally, the products should be of the same quality. Thank you, Simon Tembo, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, good morning. Yeah, so thank you.
Greetings.
Yeah, thank you, colleagues. I think this was a nice interactive session. For a few questions. One is I was trying to check for Malawi in terms of the mortality rate data, but I think I did not find any. So I just wanted to know if maybe I did wrong. The other thing is not related to this, but on the schema assignment. I did the schema, but now I put up the pop-ups, but I saved the document. But when I open it, I find that all the pop-ups, some of them, I lose some of the information, like the picture. It includes all the other data sets. Like when I removed, like the other, I remain with the name and the maybe the designation only. But when I open it, all the other things comes again. And the other thing, I think maybe you did address on the issue of unlocking the assignments for the submission. I don't know how that I can be helped so that I can upload the other link after I worked on the assignments. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Tembo. Now, data on mortalities within the protected areas for Malawi. You'll find that these data sets, they are not mostly, you'll not get them being open because they are sensitive data sets. So I would propose that you link up with the institution that manages your protected areas in Malawi so that you make a requisition. First of all, check with them if they have, I know they have the data sets. You just need to request, get approvals so that they can share with you the data sets for purposes of learning or for purposes of research. You will not get it online because it is sensitive data sets that somebody can easily use for purposes of identifying areas where they can easily poach an elephant or poach a lion, poach a tortoise, or among other things. So it's sensitive. Please link up with the institution that manages the protected areas. They should be able to share with you the data sets upon request. Schema pop-ups. I will link up with my colleague Eric to support you. So we have your email. What we are going to do, maybe we can do a short call, a short virtual call to understand your problem and see how best we can help you get out of that situation. Unlocking assignments. I believe all assignments are unlocked. I will link up with the GIT team, but from our end, we want to make sure that all assignments are unlocked up to the day when we close the course, so that different participants that are coming on board can easily go through the course and get their certificates. So we'll work. I'll link up with them so that they unlock their site. But I know they are unlocked. Please recheck. Let's get to Betty Linda. Betty Linda.
Thank you. I have another question that I forgot to ask. So when I'm creating a map, I've seen instances, let's say I'm creating a map for Uganda and I want the boundaries for the neighboring countries to appear. I saw you did something there. How possible can I do that? And then another one is on the statistics. Let's say I'm using a raster data set and maybe I want to show the zonal distribution, not the counts per se. Is it possible? Let's say just an example, maybe it's a vulnerability surface and I want to see like, and this vulnerability surface, I've maybe classified them, let's say high, low, and then medium, and I want to see like each polygon, like maybe the low is 10%, 20%. Is it possible to also do it just the way you did it this for the other calculations? Thank you.
All right, thank you. For boundaries of neighboring countries, what we do for us, you remember we called in there is a we call it a base map. There is a base map that Pro loads automatically, and you can select whichever base map you want. So where for your work, I think you can integrate base maps for ease of getting the international boundaries. And the advantage with the base maps, you won't have challenges with areas where there are disputes, because they are already highlighted on the base map that they are disputed areas. So leverage on the base maps that are provided by ArcGIS Pro. Then on statistics, you want to integrate statistics from a raster service. So there is a tool called zonal statistics where you can easily compute statistics like mean, average, maximum, minimum. So using that tool, you can easily summarize the statistics in your area, in a certain geographical area, based on some component. For example, the vulnerability levels, be it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 classifications. It can be able to create an average in terms of zonal statistics that is a mean. So while doing this, you will need of course the raster plus a vector data set like a polygon covering those areas, so that you summarize based on the vectors coverage. You are summarizing the raster, and these statistics will come to the vector file. So for example, I want to summarize the vulnerability for Kenya, and I'm doing vulnerability for East Africa. So I just need to get a polygon for Kenya, a boundary for Kenya that is covering, it is having vulnerability incidences. So I'll sum it, I'll do the sum as a mean, and the layer that the statistics will go to will be the polygon for Kenya. So let us know if you experience any challenges. We can help you on this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you encounter any you have any challenges, reach out to us. We can support you. Dorothy, please unmute. Dorothy, are you there? Please unmute. Seems she's having a challenge with the audio. Could you please type in? Let's have Namasi. Dorothy, whenever you are available, please let me know. Namasi, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Julius. Thank you for your Android presentation. I just want to ask, is there data for Kenya? And if it is there, how can I get it?
Yeah, these data sets are available, but they are not free. They are not open. So you need to link up with the KWS. The headquarters is here in Nairobi. You can walk there, and I know they have a GIS section, GIS department that does this mapping. So get there, have a talk with them. They'll guide you on the how to access the data sets for your research.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Let's have Dorothy. Did you manage? Karen? Over to you, Karen.
Hi, would you mind re-explaining how to insert the insert map into the layout?
Yeah, so please hold on. I will redo it.
Thank you.
Hang around, hang around. Now, getting back to the question on zonal statistics, we'll be covering this in the next module, module 4. So please stay on board so that we take you through this on how to compute zonal statistics. For Karen, you can hang around so that I'll take you through on how to do the insert. Then I'll be sharing, we need to do a practical on the same. So based on that, let's see if we can get, for those who can get local data set for their countries, for elephant mortalities, or any other mortality related to wildlife, please use that one. We're requesting that you develop at least a map using ArcGIS Pro showing wildlife mortality incidences. Make sure you integrate at least a graph. Let's have a minimum of a graph. And if possible, a summary table of what you are presenting. Then you'll share with us on the RCOE email. Dorothy, sorry, Dorothy, are you able to go? All right, thank you very much for your questions. For the rest of the team, I'll issue instructions on how to, okay, who is this? All right, there's a question. Laura is asking. I need to build my data set from scratch for my own project. I'm not going to do a complex analysis. It will be some kind of a basic map. Would you recommend ArcGIS Pro or online? It depends on what you want to achieve at the end. Do you want to have a hard copy map, or you want to have it as a soft copy hosted somewhere for purposes of sharing? So you can do it on Pro, then upload it somewhere for sharing. Yeah, I would advise you use Pro, then upload it somewhere for purposes of sharing. Thank you. Now, so I'll share instructions on how to do the upcoming practical assignment. Yeah, Dorothy says the issue has been resolved. That's okay. So I'll share instructions on how to undertake the assignment based on this live session. Quickly, I want to do an insert for, should have been Laura or something. So let me, I will share for those who are interested, and for those who are busy with other stuff, please feel free to leave. Feel free to leave. So this is this is the contents. I can minimize this, export this. So adding an insert, This was my map. I want to add, I can delete this inset. Let me remove it completely. So to add an inset on this map, let me close the layout. All right, to add an inset, I will go to the insert menu, click on insert menu, select new map, select new map, click on new map. A new view will be opened. It's called map 2. I can quickly rename this. Machine is a little low. So on the contents, it's called map 2. I can right click it, go to properties. Then I can rename it. I can call it inset 2. Then I say apply, okay. It's called inset 2. But now when I, once I've added the new map, remember I went to new, insert, new map. This is the new map. I've just renamed it inset 2. Now I'll go back to my layout where I want the inset to come. Click on the layout where I want the inset to be inserted. I'll go to map frame. Click on map frame under insert. Click on map frame. Then select inset 2. Select inset 2. Then draw a box where I want the inset to come. Once I've done that, the inset comes in. But before that, it's just showing a general map. So for me to integrate the inset or the overview map, I'll come under map frame. On the map frame, there is an icon in between a draw rectangle and new grid. The icon is called new extent indicator. New extent indicator, you click that drop down and make sure you are selecting the main map, which is map frame. Select map frame. Once you select on the extent, it's called what? Extent indicator, click the drop down, select map frame. Once you are done, you'll see this. Let me activate this map frame, this new map frame. I activate inset 2, activate. You will see this box. There is a black box that comes here. So what you need to do is just zoom into that area. My machine is struggling a little bit, but it will be there. This box should come to, yeah, there we are. I zoom to that area. That area is here. That box should come here. Let's give it time. It comes there. So that is my inset. That is the inset map, just trying to show the area that we are working on. I hope that one helps. It's a very simple thing. On map, on insert a new map. Once you have inserted a new map, you go to the layout, you draw that box to bring in the inset map. Once the inset map, you have drawn the box, you go to insert, you go to it's on insert. Let me go back there. Machine is slowing down. Somebody wants to join. So I hope you got the process. I can repeat it for the last time. Close this. Close that. Deactivate this layout. Close activation. Delete that. I repeat the process. Go to Insert, New Map, select New Map. When it comes with the base maps. I can right-click here and change the name. Right-click, go to Properties, General. I can call it Map Insert. Apply. Say OK. Then I go to the layout. Now I want to bring the insert here. On the Insert menu still, there is Map Frame. Click on the drop-down on Map Frame. Select Insert 2. Select Insert 2 that we have just created. Draw the box. Insert 2 comes in, but it will not show the area that we are referring to because we have not linked it to the main map where we are mapping the elephants. So to link it to that, next to Map Frame, there's an icon in the middle called New Extend Indicator. Click on the drop-down, select Map Frame. Should be able to bring that. Yeah, it's already there. So when you zoom into this, when I activate this and I zoom in, I should be able to see the map frame. It is here. So that's how we do it. The insert is here. So that's how we do it. You can change the color, just right click on the insert, go to properties, then change the color of the insert to red. Thank you very much. See you next time. I hope this has been helpful. See you next week. I'll be sharing the instructions on how to proceed with the practical. Thank you very much. Wishing you all the best.